Hello, everyone. This is Sai Krishna from IntelliQIT, and this is going to be the first session, like part one of what is configuration management. Our main goal is to learn how to implement Ansible on the Azure cloud. Okay, so with that, let us start. Ansible is a configuration management tool. When we say configuration management, what is the exact meaning of configuration management? Let us understand. So please say this. I'll give you a very simple example. Imagine that you are a system admin, okay? And you are given the task of taking a Linux-based server. It could be any server, but for sake of example, I'm calling it as a Linux server. And on this Linux server, you want to install, you are given the task of installing certain softwares. It could be a software like Tomcat, or it could be a database like MySQL. So this was the task given to you. And just imagine, in order to do this activity manually, you are taking, let's say, 30 minutes time. You want to install an application server called as Tomcat, and you also want to install a database called as MySQL. So you are taking approximately 30 minutes of time. Now, the same task, if you are asked to do on, let's say, 10 servers or 100 servers, or let's say 1,000 servers. Now, don't think this is an exaggeration. Working on thousands of servers, it's a common thing. When you are working on data centers, obviously, your applications would be deployed on thousands of servers. So let's say on 1,000 servers, I need to install Tomcat and a database called as MySQL. You can imagine how much time it will take. Or you can say that you require huge number of system admins to handle this kind of activity. And this is where this concept called as configuration management comes into picture. Okay, configuration management is mainly the ability to sit on one server and perform configuration activities on n number of remote machines. For example, let's say this is your data center where there are hundreds of servers. Okay, just imagine these are your hundreds of servers, and with the help of a configuration management tool, in our example, that configuration management tool is Ansible. So what this Ansible does is it behaves like a robot. Sitting on one server, you will be able to perform activities. Going with the same example that I was talking about. My requirement is to install Tomcat and a database called as MySQL. Not on one server, but like this, I want to do it on multiple servers. Ansible behaves like a robot. Configuration management tools. Ansible is a configuration management tool. So these configuration management tools, they behave like a robot, and whatever activity you can do on one server, your Ansible can automate that activity. It can perform that activity on any number of machines. And these servers could be distributed in geographically different locations. It doesn't matter. So that is the basic definition of configuration management. It could be any activity, any kind of system administration that you can generally perform on one server. Your configuration management tool like Ansible can replicate that. It can perform that activity on multiple servers. Okay. Now, based on this simple explanation that I have given, I'm sure most of you might have understood that with the help of configuration management tools like Ansible, the first advantage that we have is resource saving, right? What do I mean when I say resource saving? Money is getting saved, right? Because earlier, to handle this kind of task, I required huge number of system admins, which means your organization has to pay salary to all these people. Now, configuration management tool is able to automate that. So human resources are getting saved, money is getting saved, time is getting saved. Something that you'd require huge amounts of time when you are working on such large number of servers, your configuration management tool like Ansible is automating that. So time is getting saved, human effort is getting saved, money is getting saved. So the main advantage of configuration management is automating all the day-to-day activities that are generally performed by system admins. It could be a Linux admin or a Windows admin, doesn't matter. When your organization is having certain servers, and on those servers, your company wants certain softwares to be installed, maybe some firewalls have to be installed, it could be some databases or some application servers, whatever it is, configuration management tools like Ansible can automate that. Okay, that's the first advantage. You know what is the second advantage? With the help of configuration management, whatever activities we are doing, obviously they become reusable. Why we are saying reusable? Let's say via Ansible, I could design an Ansible playbook. I'll tell you what is a playbook, but let's say I design an Ansible playbook, and via that playbook, using that playbook, I can use that playbook for configuring, let's say, a Tomcat on 10 servers. Tomorrow, I can use the same Ansible playbook and I can reuse it on another set of servers. So reusability, one time you design these configurations using Ansible and your team can reuse it. Okay. Now, the third advantage is when you are generally performing automation, I mean, something which you are doing manually, we generally believe that if you perform the same activity again and again, it is prone to errors. As a human, I mean, I might be perfect in certain things, but if I repeat the same thing again and again, due to lack of energy or due to lack of enthusiasm or time, there is a possibility that once in a while, as humans, we make mistakes. Whereas automation tools generally don't do that. So that possibility of human errors, all those things will be greatly reduced. And the most important of advantage with these configuration management tools like Ansible is they support something called as idempotent. They are idempotent, or they have this feature which is called as idempotency. Now, what is idempotency? When we say idempotency, with the help of Ansible, what are we trying to do? We are trying to configure certain activities. It could be installations, uninstallations, creation of users, setting up of databases, something we are trying to do on the remote servers. Now, whatever we are doing on the remote servers, your configuration management tools, I mean, via the configuration management tool, what you are trying to do, we generally call that as the desired state. Okay. And when this desired state is already present on those servers, your configuration management tools will not disturb those machines. This is what we call as idempotency. See, let's take it like this. Imagine this is my configuration management tool, which in our case is Ansible, and these are your servers. Now, the task that you are giving to your Ansible is to set up Tomcat on all these servers. But already Tomcat is set up on these servers. But you're simply blindly telling your Ansible, you just go and install Tomcat everywhere. Now, what Ansible does is it sees that on this set of servers, already the desired state is there. What is the desired state? In this example, desired state is to have Tomcat already installed. So when Ansible sees that certain servers are already in the desired state, it will not do any activity on that server. This is what we call as idempotency. Whereas on this other set of servers, when your Ansible notices that Tomcat is not available, it will try to perform a fresh installation. So when the desired configurations are already present on the remote servers, your Ansible will not make any changes on that server. And this is what we generally call as idempotency. Okay. So in the coming few videos, what we are going to do is we are going to understand how we can implement this Ansible on a specific cloud called as Azure. Now, though I am teaching this on the Azure Cloud, most of these concepts you can implement either on the AWS Cloud or on the Google Cloud, anywhere. It doesn't matter, because Ansible is a third-party configuration management tool. It can be used on any cloud, provided you just have the necessary servers. Okay, I think everyone understood what is the basic definition of configuration management. I mean, what is the purpose of using Ansible? What are the advantages of using Ansible? Now, before we go into the actual part of how to install Ansible and all those things, what we will do is we'll just try to understand we'll just try to have some basic understanding of the common terminology that is used in Ansible. We install Ansible on one server, and that one server where Ansible is installed is called as the controller. So you install Ansible. I'll show you what are what is the step-by-step process of installing Ansible, but just understand the terminology for now. Ansible we will install on one server, which is known as the controller. Whatever remote servers you are trying to configure with the help of Ansible, let's say I have 3 servers, server 1, server 2, and server 3. All these remote servers, we generally call them as managed nodes, or you can also call them as managed hosts. So Ansible is installed on one server, and which is called as a controller, and the remaining servers which you are trying to configure with the help of Ansible, we call these servers as managed nodes or managed hosts. And for Ansible to work on these remote servers, what we need to do is we have to establish what is called as passwordless SSH connection. Okay, what is SSH? SSH is a protocol of Linux, which stands for Secure Shell, which mainly represents, which mainly talks about how a user sitting on one Linux machine can access the resources of another user working on another Linux machine. Don't worry. If your people are totally new to all this, it might seem a little confusing, but step by step, if you just watch these videos and follow the instructions that I'm showing, you will be able to learn Ansible from the scratch to the advanced concepts. Okay. So this was just a very basic introduction where I wanted to explain to you what is Ansible, what is configuration management. And similarly, we just understood the basic terminology related to Ansible. Now, in the next video, we will see how you can install Ansible. So there I will talk about how you can set up this Ansible controller and how you can create these managed nodes, and how to establish the passwordless SSH connection. We will try to focus in the next session. And we'll also talk about the different ways in which Ansible can perform configurations on remote servers. There is something called as Ansible ad hoc commands, Ansible playbooks, Ansible roles, everything from the scratch to the advanced concepts. We'll cover everything. Now, our main intention is just to provide all this knowledge on Ansible on Azure free of cost for the benefit of students. We just request the students to, like our, if you really like our content, please click on the like button. Similarly, subscribe for our channel. Any further questions you have, you can please put it in the comment section. I'll try to definitely answer all those questions. Okay. So that's it for now. Okay. Thank you so much.